Alright, so first piece of gear we're going to talk about, of course, is the rifle, which this is a Wasser imported by Century, made in Romania. Go ahead and danger this bitch up. That one ain't loaded. Oh, I left it in the range.
Now, Joe.
What?
You're breaking the rule, man.
So, all weapons are to be treated like they're loaded, so you might as well go ahead and load them.
Yeah.
So starting from the back, you got an adjustable M4 style stock. It worked, you know, for whatever a stock needs to work for. In the, I don't know, empty space of that,
There it is.
right here, this is actually a cleaning kit. Got the brush, the sight adjustment tool. It's your standard AK cleaning kit. And I stuffed it in the back of there because it fits, and it's always wherever the rifle is. Single point sling with an attachment there. Quick disconnect here. Did the job just fine. I like single point sling, so it did very well. Grip is a Tapco grip. I was not a fan of it because it is very fat in my hand. It's like holding the TV remote the wrong way, trying to press a button. It just sucked. Korean mag, you can tell because it's gray and it's made of metal. And I would definitely not recommend anybody buying these because I had 4 out of 6 fail on me. This one's going in the trash. This one's going in the trash. And I will be getting something else.
There are several more in my trunk that are going to be going in the trash.
Yeah. Well, you'll notice if you're looking at this thing is that you cannot see the follower. The reason is it's about 3 inches down into the magazine. Why is that? Because it's a Korean piece of shit. How do I know that? This one's doing the exact same fucking thing. Don't buy Korean mags. This one won't fit in the rifle. I don't have my rifle to demonstrate, but it's plastic, and the plastic pieces that are vital to staying in the weapon are wearing away. Don't buy Tapco either. This is a Galil handguard, also made by Tapco. For whatever it's worth, it did fine. Used regular old iron sights here, rear sight, front sight, no big deal. Everything else is pretty standard issue AK stuff. So that's about all I got to say about that.
Okay.
Made by Tough. Yeah. See the logo there? Oh, there we go. Sort of. Good enough.
Yep.
Toughproducts.com. We actually ordered that off Amazon. Holds 5 full-size Springfield Armory XDM magazines, which was great to have. And it's got a little flap cover here, soft Velcro there, hard Velcro on this side. And the other thing that it can do is detach here, which you know, if you ever wanted to run open top mags, you could do that. It will attach by MOLLE or to your belt, and it's the Velcro attachment here. This slips out through the bottom there, so you could pretty much attach it to whatever you want. Great product. Let's talk about the pistol real quick. Load it up, get it ready.
Whoa, wait a second. You're all fuzzy.
Okay.
Okay.
Springfield Armory XDM. Not a bad pistol. It worked reliably. Functioned every round I squeezed off. So I have no complaints about that. Yeah, you can see the trigger safety there, which in my opinion is the only safety you really need, because this will prevent the trigger from moving unless somebody's actually squeezing the trigger. So that should be the only safety you should ever need. Back here you've got the back strap safety, or beaver tail safety, whatever you want to call that, and that's to make sure that somebody is holding the gun while they're squeezing the trigger, which is kind of double redundant. It's just one thing to fail if you don't have a good enough grip, so in that regard I don't like it. But the weapon itself, 9mm, 4.5 inch barrel, worked fine, flawlessly, no issues, no problems. 19 round magazines.
There we go.
So this green duty belt here is a Condor duty belt. It comes with 2 of these, what they call magazine pouches. I call it a utility pouch for anything small enough to fit in there, because I already have 5 magazines held in one pouch, so another 2 is almost overkill for me. Duty belt did great, held up the weight of the gun and the holster and everything else it was supposed to hold up. So Condor adjustable holster, drop leg. When you see it's got the disconnect attachment there. 2 leg straps here, also quick disconnects. Spare mag pouch on the front of the holster, and 2 ways of retention, snap and Velcro. So it did the job just fine, held on to the gun throughout the whole course. It's good enough, I guess, you know, if you don't have the money to get a specialty holster. So there you go. Alright, Condor chest rig, as you can see, with the 3 working mags that I had left, minus the one in the gun, which would be the total of 4 that I came home with. So it worked for what it's worth. Now, they said in the reviews that I read on this thing that AK mags will work in this. I'm telling you, it's designed for an AR-15. You're going to work twice as hard to make the AK mags work. They have inside of them individual pouches for each magazine, so you can stick a mag in front and then one behind it, and you've got this little divider wall to separate the 2 of them, which is entirely unnecessary. And again, these mags are thicker and longer than AR-15 mags, so when you try to do that, it's a tough fit. It gets caught up on everything. You have to force it in there. You see how much higher that one is than the other one, and I just can't get it any further unless I take this one out. And then, of course, taking another magazine out becomes a hassle because it's just not the right size. Did it work? Man, just barely, because you can see how much I gotta fight this to get this in here. Now imagine trying to hold on to a gun, hold down a guy, making sure he doesn't get up, and trying to put this back in one-handed. It's pretty much impossible with this rig with AK mags. So I would say if you're an AK guy, get an AK rig. It's got pistol mags, and it actually had pistol mag covers also. Look at that. Which were completely useless for me because I already have pistol mag pouch that carried all my pistol mags. Trash. That's what those are good for. Holding on to your trash. You know, these bungee cords were originally from the outside to the inside and from the inside to the outside to individually hold on to the AR-15 mags, and it would not even let the AK mags fit in there in that configuration, so I had to undo it and go from the outside to the outside. It still worked okay as far as retaining the magazines in there. So, you know, when you buy something that and you make it work, you got to find ways to make it work. So that's the way I found to make it work for me. Got medical kit here, which you can see is the field trauma kit by these guys, but that's actually not what's in there. What's in there is actually a stripped down ventilator operator's kit with a quick clot gauze. So TK4 tourniquet, compressed gauze, some Kelly clamps, basically bleeding. You know, this is going to take care of all your bleeding needs. I also have another medical kit that I keep in my pocket. So another tourniquet, more quick clot, but then in here I have the 14 gauge needle with catheter, NPA, and a rescue me tool. It's in there. It's blue. There it is. So for all those things that's for. The chest rig for me was a bit big. Now I'm 5'4", so I understand not anything is made for my size, but I had to take every bit of slack out of the shoulders to get it to sit where it needs to sit. Otherwise, it would be a belly rig. So as far as, you know, getting me through fighting rifle, it got me through it, but I had to fight it a lot. I'd rather just save my money and spend it on something that was designed for AKs. This was definitely a necessary item. Basically, the way it was worn was around the neck and then tucked into the shirt. Just that simple. And what that did is provided the sides of the neck's protection for when that sling's coming down, coming up, and you got anything else going on. And that was necessary, believe you me.
Allen Company range bag did a fantastic job. I love this range bag. It's got my prescription safety glasses in there. If you wear glasses, I definitely recommend that. Paint markers, the cloth, medical tape, whatever you call that. Basically, I use that to tie up the slack.
Yeah.
So like when you've got a whole lot of excess, you know, flap, whatever, I just tie up the loose ends so it's not getting caught on everything. Zip ties, because you never know what you need a zip tie for. Shimog already talked about that. Knee pads, definitely necessary for this class. Hearing protection, gloves, definitely necessary for this class. Kept my hands from getting burnt and cut up. The Lula pistol loader, which will do everything from 9mm to 45, definitely a necessity for this. I wouldn't say it was a necessity for this class, because you didn't shoot that much pistol. You could definitely muscle through it without that.
It was a necessity for my 45 magazines.
Sunblock, should have worn it, didn't. Don't know why, just a dumbass. Came home with some peeling skin. Cleaning kit, frog lube. I love that stuff, works great. Cleaning patches, definitely need that. Other stuff that I had, spare Shimog, spare sling for the rifle, hammer and pins, or punches, excuse me, spare marker and spare writing pen there. Didn't need any of that stuff, but I definitely recommend keeping stuff like that in your range bag. All kinds of hearing protection. So I used some muffs mostly. I ended up putting some earplugs in later in day 2, just because shooting the rifle so much it would knock my ear muffs off, and I needed some hearing protection. And that's the Lula AK loader, which was definitely a lifesaver, especially at the end of day 2. Day 1, you're there, you're full of energy. I mean, you can load that stuff by hand, not a big deal. This actually kind of slowed you down the beginning of day 1. But by the end of day 2, this was freaking necessary. I mean, just your hands are cramped up, tired, fatigued. You need help, you need to get your mags loaded, and this got you there. So I would definitely say that's a requirement for this class.
So here we have the Century Arms C39 milled AK receiver. Here we have the Damage Industries rail, which had to be slightly modified to fit onto this gun. But most importantly, we have the Aimpoint Pro, which stands for Patrol Rifle Optic. This thing made the whole class go so much smoother, especially towards the end of day 2. It's already been dangered up, but just a Tapco vertical foregrip, Magpul magazine, which I spend the extra $3 on one of these because these things went without a hitch. Tapco grip, which was okay. It got kind of sharp, you know, when you've been holding on to it for a long time. It got kind of sharp, you know, digging into your hand. The corners are a little harsh. You know, fine for if you're just going down and plinking, but if you're going to do some extended shooting, I would definitely switch out the grip. Tapco plastic stock, and actually this is different from when I had it in the class. I had this wrapped in paracord to help build up the height of it a little bit. Again, my neck doesn't can only go so far, so to get a proper cheek weld, I had to build it up a bit. And then on the ass end of the stock, I had a Pachymar decelerator slip-on recoil pad, which made shooting very comfortable. I mean, it was nothing to fire off rounds all day. But here you can get a good view of everything.
Yep, you can see it pretty well.
Same single point sling that Joe had. So, you know, quick release and no adapter, but
Cool.
but we lubricated both of our rifles with white lithium grease, as recommended by both James Yeager and Jim Fuller of Rifle Dynamics. Definitely do that. It's worth doing, because especially on AKs, because it just makes them run so smoothly. Alright, here we have a Condor drop leg pistol holster. In it is my pistol that I used for the class. Basically, this holster is much the same as the one Joe had, only this one's completely adjustable, and you know, you can you know, you can adjust the inner size of it. Try and get a better light angle there. Adjust the inner size to fit pretty much any gun, which I needed since mine is a subcompact. Again, the quick releases on both the belt loop and the leg straps. Spare mag pouch in the front, didn't use it. But that's that. The pistol I used is a Taurus PT-145 Millennium Pro. It's 45 ACP, 3.5 inch barrel, and would kill me. It would kill me if I actually had to use it in a fight. 10 round magazine. You know, it's a double stack magazine, and you know, I hate to say it because I am a 45 guy, but 10 rounds per magazine ain't shit. So, plus this gun is not that reliable. I had many stovepipe malfunctions, so many that I couldn't actually keep track of them. Anyway,
Hold on.
Oh.
And go.
Anyway, a stovepipe is when the round doesn't fully eject and the casing, or the casing doesn't fully eject, and it gets caught in between the slide and the chamber, and it gets pinned there, and you pull the trigger, it goes click, and it doesn't do anything, and that's not good. And you know, every time that happens, you tap, rack, but what this gun kept doing was it would stovepipe, I'd tap, I'd rack, it double feed. So this would not be a gun I would stake my life on. Alright, moving on, we have a Condor drop leg double. This is actually a double M4 mag pouch, but it is adjustable, and I was able to get the AK mags in fairly nicely. Had no problems with retention. It uses these large flaps with Velcro on them. Covers it really nicely. If you need to, you can even clip these clips in, which for some reason I can't now. I must have moved. The adjustment must have moved. I will say one thing really nice about this is once this was on and adjusted properly, you almost didn't feel it. I mean, it was very comfortable to wear, and it was nice. I mean, it was actually comfortable to the point that I forgot it was there most of the time. And so I'd have, you know, a magazine or two ready to go, but I forgot I had them, and I'd have to pick up a partial, which kind of hurt me in the class, but in the end, it ended up being very helpful to have the drop leg mag pouch. This is the gun belt I was using. It's also my everyday belt. It is a custom made belt, leather belt. You know, it's you may not be. Oh, there you can see it's multi-layered. It's a multi-layered leather belt. Has a nice embossing on it. Now, this was actually acquired from a cobbler shop down in Amish country, and this belt, again, custom made for me, $26, and I love it. I mean, it's very comfortable, holds very well, very stiff. I mean, you know, you can't crush that belt. And you know, it looks nice. Here we have it's a Condor chest rig that I got from AR500. Unfortunately, I do not have plates in it at the moment, but you know, those are coming. On the front here we have two double AK mag pouches. So, you know, as you can see, there's two magazines in each pouch. So, 4 magazines right there.
Okay. And go.
Here we have a double pistol magazine pouch. Just pretty basic magazine pouch. Both of these use Velcro flaps, which are adjustable. So if you have a taller magazine, you can, you know, have extra space but still have retention. Same with these. You know, these will fit a 20 round AK mag, which I don't know why you would have that, but they will fit it. The rig, the plate carrier itself has MOLLE across the front. Velcro MOLLE here, so you can put, you know, a patch of some sort, whether it be your blood type or some sort of morale patch, your name, whatever, on it. Right now I just have the pad from one of my other pieces of gear, my hydration carrier, on it, just because it kept stuff from sticking to it. Again, MOLLE across the back. In here in the MOLLE, which I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera.
Yeah, we could see it.
Okay. But here in the Molly, these are Maxpedition Grimlock carabiners. They're a locking carabiner. They are plastic. They're only, I think their max loaded weight is 80 pounds. But for hooking a Camelback type device to the plate carrier, these make everything very easy. And they actually lock into the Molly webbing, so they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we can see that pretty good.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and show people how you put that on and take it off.
Oh, 1 second. I have
Okay.
two other things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Here on the shoulder straps, there are pads. It is padded, which really helps. And I mean, for obvious reasons. Now, me being a northern boy, I'm not used to heat, and we're not that specific kind of heat that was down in Tennessee. So I was sweating like a pig. And this carrier actually has keep turning.
There you go.
Okay.
Get that in the light. Yep.
This plate carrier actually has a moisture wicking material in here, and boy does it work.
Cool.
It, even though I was hot and I was sweating, it pulled the moisture off of me, and it really was nice. You could definitely tell that it was doing its job. As far as taking it on and off, you lift the flap, pull the one side of the cummerbund off, and then basically just lift it off your shoulders like that. And then to put it on, you just drop it over, lift the flap, bring it around, and there you go. Good to go.
Nice.
Here we have the Geiger rig.
Geiger rig.
Yes.
I would fail at spelling that word every single time.
Me too. But this is the Tactical Rigger hydration carrier. Now attached to it, I use this thing as a bug out bag as well, and it's very nice for that. So attached to it, I have 2 more AK mag pouches that I use for utility purposes. I've got gloves and all that. All the things that you need for a bug out bag, sans a medical kit, but that's coming. And again, a tarp down here, but the tarp wasn't actually on for the class. What's unique about the Geiger rig is it is a pressurized hydration carrier. There's an air bladder in the. It pumps air into the bladder, pressurizes the water, so when you squeeze down on the what they call the bite valve, whether it be with your teeth or just with your hands, with your fingers, it actually squirts the water into your mouth, which when you're out of breath but you're dying of thirst, this having the pressurization, having it force the water into your mouth makes a big difference. The first day of class, I actually had this attached to the plate carrier by those Grimlocks that we had just talked about. By the second day of class, I took this off, but still kept this readily available. And had I not had this, I probably would have been taken in for dehydration. I mean, this made it so nice to get water. So I definitely recommend one of these to anybody. Does have shoulder straps, but you
Back.
Yep.
There we go.
does have shoulder straps and even the across the chest strap if you would just want to use it as a backpack. But then it also has these hook points, D-rings that you can attach via some sort of carabiner to a chest rig or other pack. And makes it nice. It's nice. It's lightweight. Fits the back nicely. This particular model is made out of the same type of nylon most chest rigs and plate carriers are made out of. Onto my range bag. This is a 511
Range back.
range bag. Yeah, I forget the exact model, but
There's this thing called the internet. You can look it up if you care.
yeah, it's 511. It's
Right.
Same knee pads that Joe used, so that's been covered. Again, mechanics gloves for down there, been covered. These really were nice. My range glasses, I used earplugs as opposed to muffs. I find it much more comfortable. As far as what else is in here, okay, we have white lithium grease, as talked about earlier. Definitely use this stuff, especially if you have an AK. Makes a big difference. Basic solvent, regular lubricating oil for the recoil spring, patches. The one thing with the lithium grease is when you do finally need to clean out your gun, it's best to use one of these cheap red shop rags. Otherwise you'll be going through about 1.5 million patches. Also, the biggest purpose of taking this range bag was for the pistol ammunition. We just put in a little cardboard divider, and on one side we have the 9mm ammo. On the other side we put the 45s. And as far as what else I have in here, I've got a hook set with a small flathead in there. This is for in case I needed to take a spring out or replace a spring or reset a spring. You know, these are really handy for that. Phillips, for obvious purposes, it's a screwdriver. If you don't know how to use one, you shouldn't be watching this video. Cleaning rod. These are just the various brushes and some small Allen keys that are used on my rifle and are common to a lot of rifles. This is the 45 cleaning brushes and whatnot. Cool. Let's see, on this end pouch I have paint marker, or this is just a permanent marker. Some microfiber cloth, cleaning glasses or anything like that. Around on this side, I have a spare cleaning rod. another Sharpie, and then what I found with the unique way that my Damage Industries rail is on my gun, a 20 gauge shotgun brush and swab happened to fit perfectly down the gas tube of an AK. And as I can't remove my gas tube because it's JB welded on, I need that. On this side, I've got some lens cleaner. This is just comes in a stick form, and you basically just draw a little X on whatever lens, and just use a cloth or whatever on it to spread it around and clean your glasses. Handy stuff. It's also anti-glare and anti-fog. A couple of little multi-tools and spare set of earplugs and just a razor knife in case I need to cut something open. You know, nothing fancy. Oh, helps if I unlock it.